Daniels has not played poorly in the last 2 games, completing just under 60% in his last 4 games. He was completing 76% in his first 7. So that's obviously a pace basically no one is going to keep up with. So, Alex, as you're watching him, how would you describe your concern for whatever has been his regression?
Zero concern, Greeny. I mean, he played the Eagles and the Steelers in a 5-day span. Like, if there were 2 defenses that I could pick that I would not want to play against, it would be those 2 defenses, literally. Listen, I think this is a get-right game a little bit, even though it's a division opponent against the Cowboys. He was dealing with the rib injury. He gets the little break here with the Thursday night game. I think he comes back. I think I'd like to see him get more involved back in the run game, hopefully with those ribs healthy. And then get the ball to Terry McLaurin. He's the guy I think that's kind of been missing from this offense the last 2 weeks. This guy's an unbelievable player on the outside. They can't let him go that long without getting the catch.
Does a nagging rib injury bother a quarterback?
Yes.
So why are we going over Darlington about this guy not being hurt and Quinn trying to? He's got a little bit of a rib. It affects you. You don't go to a sideline in between series and try to heat your rib if you're fine. There's a little bit that's affecting this kid. Listen, this is a good team. This is a good Commander team. It's not one of the great teams of the NFL. They played a couple better teams in them the last couple weeks, but this is a team that's right on track. They're 11-point favorites, okay? They're playing a Cowboys team that's 11-point favorites. You just got to hand it off. It'll be great. Once this guy's back healthy, he can do all the things he can. This team is going to be just.
Darlington talking about reset, and speaking of the guy to make it happen for him, that's Terry McLaurin. Darlington was talking about reset, and rightfully so, because earlier, from the runs, him being able to get outside the pocket, everything was looking good. Then after the last couple of weeks, he looked a little, indecisive with his decision making. So I think for me, just don't second guess it. You've had a little time off to have that rib to heal up. So I really want, him to just cut it loose. But then nobody is really talking about this. Dan Quinn, okay, used to be the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And since he left, that defense has been,
horrendous.
Yeah, that's a great word to use. So 30 points a game that this defense is giving up. So you talking about reset, getting back on track. This is a game for the Washington Commanders. For everything that's been going over the last couple of years. Go ahead and keep your foot on the gas and put your foot right on their throats.
You have an obvious question for me? Do you want a 2-word answer for that?
What has the Cowboys defense been?
Garbage.
What if I asked you to add a word to that?
Hot garbage. Okay. And that's really what it's been. Look, guys, the Jayden Daniels, man, I mean, come on. This guy, the Commanders are 2 years ahead of where anybody thought they would be. Right. Why? Because of this guy.
Yes.
Like, he is an amazing talent. So to me, absolutely nothing wrong here. The guy's a phenomenal quarterback. The one thing, though, their offensive line is not very good. This kid makes up for it a lot. So, Micah Parsons, you got to let it eat. If you like this coordinator so much and you want to play for him, you better show up because you're 29th in the league or whatever. The defense is awful, but 11 points. If you can't get motivated, if you're a Dallas Cowboy today, you'll never get motivated this season.
He's the one guy that could wreck this game, right? If you're the Commanders, I mean, he needs to get chipped and doubled every play. Like, don't let him hit with the sack fumble and turn this game. I think otherwise they do. I think they outclass him.
11 points.
Yeah.
Joe Gibbs had to be the coach of back then Washington. There's no way. 11 points in this rivalry? Come on.
This offensive line, Rex, I think this offensive line for Washington can definitely win the line of scrimmage today. This is a unit that they put together that I think Adam Peters has done a good job of. They're going to get this run game going. Agreed. They got 3 great backs. Jayden, let's pump the brakes a little on Rudden, Jayden, all right? Get this victory, get on the buses, and get out of there.
Now it's time for our Dog of the Week, brought to you by our friends at ESPN Bet. And that means for the first time this morning, we welcome our betting expert, Aaron Dolan. Aaron, who are we looking at some of the more interesting dogs this week?
Well, Greeny, let's take a look at the dogs that we have available for this week. Now, double-digit dogs are 0-5 against the number, so keep that in mind. Also, the Tennessee Titans, just 1 cover this season. Have some dignity. At least cover for us if you're not going to win. But for my dog of the week, we're going to go with the Colts. We have to take the points here. Now, the public's all over the Detroit Lions, and I understand why, but I do think the Colts can keep it within the number because Shane Steichen's actually really good at covering the spread. He's 17-11 against the number, which is the second best mark for a head coach that has at least 25 games under his belt. Not to mention the last time we saw him as a 7-point dog or more, they won that game outright, and that was last season against the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to fade the public on this one because despite all the money and tickets coming in on the Detroit Lions, the line's moving in favor of the Colts.
Did I see you on SportsCenter? 87% of the public is on Detroit. That's when 87% of the public is on anything, it hits 13% of the time. Keep that in mind. Rex, you've been up and down on the dogs this season. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I know. I only won my first 8, but I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus. Last week, I put my cat purposely on the dog, knowing it would lose because I went against the Lions, which I have a funny feeling somebody else is going to do this week. All right, my pick, I'm getting screamed at here. I'm taking Dallas. How the hell can you be getting 11 points, Dallas? Show a little pride.
Randy?
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Well, Aaron, no, I'm not picking the Cowboys. Aaron said there's one team that's covered one time, and we're going into week 12.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
This is the week.
Oh.
The Tennessee Titans, man, they'll cover that 7. It's going to be the Tennessee
They're
Titans.
due. For me, I'm going the Patriots. Can't believe you guys didn't pick the Patriots. This is a divisional game against the Dolphins. The Patriots are playing good on D. Drake May's playing really good offensively. I think they keep this game tight, if not win it.
Rex, I'm with you. In that Cowboy thing. How can it's a rookie quarterback and you got the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys and there's Cooper Rush. All right, Cooper Rush can pull out some magic and keep it within the 11. 11. That's disrespect right there, Dallas.
11.
Disrespect. I'm going Cowboys.
I'm fading the public. Listen, at some point I give up on making picks myself. I took the Titans last week, Randy. I wish you the best of luck. Rex made fun of me like crazy.
Not happening.
I'm taking the Colts and the points.
Did he say what I thought he said?
Yes, I did.
No, I picked against the Lions last week and got beat by 50. You're going to get crushed, my friend.
We'll find out.
Oh, my goodness.
We will play this back on Get Up tomorrow morning. We'll see how it goes. Through your eyes, Alex, from one number 1 pick to another, what did you see last week?
Oh, it was hands down the best Caleb Williams has looked this year, right? I think it's what we all were hoping to see from him. You know, there just was, we've talked about this, there was so much drop back pass early in the year out of this offense, which is, by the way, the hardest thing to do in the NFL. And I can remember this as a top pick too. And it's even worse for Caleb because there was like this narrative that he couldn't do it, right? He couldn't be a timing quarterback. But this is what Thomas Brown brought to the offense last week that I really wanted to see. The gimme throws, right? The plays off. Here's early in the game, quick screen to one of your best players. That's a 15-yard completion. That helps quarterbacks so much getting into a rhythm. 3rd and 1, again, early in the game. We talked about it. Incorporate the QB run. This guy's an amazing athlete, right? This is a big conversion. Watch the energy here. Watch what this does. Look at him, right? Get him going, man. Build this guy's confidence. And then this one, decisiveness. And this was really about pure progressions is what I would like to call this. It's like 1, 2, 3. Not a lot of thinking. You can see it here. 1 here, 2's coming straight into your vision, right? Play fast, get the ball out. Another big conversion. And you know what this leads to? Confidence, playing fast, and this was later in the game. I couldn't believe I saw this. One hitch, and he took off. We haven't seen this all year, right? Stop trying to be this pocket passer that I think this narrative that you're trying to prove. Go back to playing your own game, and Thomas Brown deserves a lot of credit for, I think, again, this is the same offense, same playbook. It's how you talk to a guy, right? You heard the mention in the headset, keeping him in the moment.
Yeah, the Courtney Cronin little comment there about being up there to 20 seconds left. What does that mean in terms of who can still, when can they be out of your ear?
15 seconds.
So you got 5 seconds more there. What does that mean to a quarterback to have that?
Well, 2 things, the rhythm, right? Like just the play coming in fast, you're in and out of the huddle. There is something to that. But then, again, today, you're playing the Vikings.
You better get to the line. You ever get something like last minute from your coordinator with 5 seconds?
It's the worst. And then you're sprinting up the line, you're in a hurry, shift, motion. Oh, by the way, the Vikings have 8 guys standing on the line of scrimmage. Are they blitzing? Are they dropping? Like, having the 20 seconds is a game changer.
Well, that's the point really here. Just quickly on that is that this is maybe the most difficult test any rookie quarterback could possibly face in the NFL, right? Is this defense coordinated by Brian Flores?
I believe so, yeah, because, I mean, last week it took B. Flo the second play to send his corner off of the edge, off of a tight split. So he's going to come in various places and at the frequency that this guy isn't used to seeing. We talked about Richardson, what he has to learn. Caleb, this is going to be another learning experience here. How many adjustments? This is going to be adjustment level game because he's going to see something. He's going to have questions for his OC on the sideline, and then they have to get answered. It's going to be that type of game when you're going up against a Brian
Yeah,
Flores
he's going to run
defense.
traps all over the place, man. Trust me, this young cat right here. One thing about him, like everybody's so, farts and giggles over how great he played last week and things. That was against a vanilla defense. This one right here, watch all the traps that Flores and a veteran coordinator will put out there for this rookie. One thing he does lead the league in, I can tell you this about Caleb, negative plays. He's been sacked 41 times, 5 interceptions, 4 fumbles. All right, that leads the league.
That's 50.
That's 50 of them if you're counting, even with the new math. So to me, I expect some of that. I think Flores is going to get, all of a sudden we're going to be Thomas Brown. We're talking like he's going to be a head coach in the league. He was the same guy with Carolina last year. I'm not as confident.
I'm just wondering if they regress this week. And just because, just because of what we saw last week with the Green Bay Packers, they gave him a lot of zone, mixed a little bit of man in there. And one thing, Brian Flores, he's sending them off the bus. So tighter window throws for me. And them, having a guy like Moore back, Keenan Allen back, I think will be very important for this rookie quarterback. But one other side of Sam Darnold. As a wide receiver, you bring in Sam Darnold in, and everybody's wanting to know how is it going to look for a guy like Justin Jefferson. And I had that question. But when you look at how he's spreading the ball, when you look at Kevin O'Connell being able to mastermind this offense, he's spreading the ball to everybody. And what's most impressive about him spreading the ball? He's holding on to the ball, taking those hits. So what I like about Sam Darnold and them moving forward right here, you talk about the toughness. One of the toughest, if not the toughest quarterback in the National Football League, being able to stand in the pocket, guys, and still deliver a ball right on the numbers. Second to Josh Allen with being able to get the ball out of his hands when pressure. So to me today, I don't care if the pocket's clean or not. Sam Darnold's going to deliver the ball, and that's one of the biggest things that I like what I'm seeing coming out of Minnesota.
Add a little common sense to that toughness, and I'm on board. But I'm telling you,
Come on.
a little common sense to the ball thing. Because I see that
this guy up.
I see this guy running around, and I'm like, what is he going to do now? And that's a question that he has to continually show. I'm sorry, Alex. I got to get that up.
I think there's something there. There's these guys, they're 8-2.
Yeah.
They have the second best record in the NFC, and nobody is talking about them. And it's a little bit, I think everybody can't believe it, right? They can't believe, and it's because of Sam Darnold.
There you go.
Right? That he can't be this good, and that they're winning in spite of him.
Well,
and I think
the
that's
feeling
absolutely wrong.
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
What are you waiting on?
He has a couple every game.
Teddy, he scored every touchdown for this team last week. He was the reason they won. He is playing at such a good level. I couldn't disagree with that narrative more.
Look at that list up under there. You talking about under pressure. He's up there with names Josh Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow. Man, come on, bro.
I got to see more.
Unfortunately, he's also on this list, Rex. He has 14 turnovers this year, which is the most in the NFL. So will the real Sam Darnold please stand up? Do you have faith in his ability to lead that team in a deep playoff run? Randy's hoping for it. They're 8-2 to the point that no one is talking about them. Is Darnold good enough to get it done?
No. All right, so I'm looking at it this way. No, he's not. I'm going to tell you, look, their offensive line does a great job. I get it. I mean, and he's done well. But no, a deep run to playoffs, they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't see the deep run. I see several teams that I would have more faith in.
I got to push back
Lions,
on this.
The Eagles.
This reminds me so much of the Brock Purdy thing, right? They just couldn't believe he was that good, the last pick in the draft. We've seen Sam Darnold in the Jets, and that's just who he is, right? He is a different player. This team is they're going to have something to say come the end of the year. They're the #1 defense against the run. This defense is unbelievable. Offensively, you talked about the O-line and this guy at the helm. I mean, did anybody watch the tape last week? This guy put on a show. He was spin moves, breaking tackles, throwing darts all over the field. This guy is playing at such a high level.
You sounded good, boy.